And it's done. Hello, brave new world. It's Joshua here, and it's almost a quarter to 7 a.m. And it's January the 12th of the Lord's year 2021 or 2021. God damn it, it's been only 12 days, almost 2 weeks into this year, and already a lot of things are happening. And one thing that I would like to discuss is this particular view regarding the sensitive topic of abortion. Yeah, you heard that right. Abortion. You know, this section that consists of ending a pregnancy. Because let us be honest, that's what it is. It ends a pregnancy. And when you end a pregnancy, what happens? A life is ended too. Let's call it by what it is. It is a life. Because, well, the basic biology principles define life as what the word define the basic manifestation of life as the cell. The cell, it's a basic life form manifestation. It's a basic form of life. Therefore, any cell is life. For example, if you cut yourself and there is blood spurting out of your wound, out of your open wound or open cut, the blood technically it has life. Life. It has life. Why? Because there are cells in it. All right. And also, what about the trees? They have cells, therefore they are alive. What about insects? They have cells, therefore they are alive. But what about viruses? For example, the COVID-19, which is going on right now and is causing this pandemic, which many people are taking in a different variety of ways. What's happening with that? Viruses, I think viruses is the correct plural for the word. Let's double check it in the dictionary right there. Let's have a look at what the plural of the word virus is. T-U-V-W-U and V. Here we go. View, viral, viola, violate, violence, violent, violently, violent, violent. Virus, right? Yeah, that's the word. And what's the plural? The plural apparently is virus, a noun. You define it as a living thing, too small to be seen without a microscope, that causes infections and disease in people, animals, and plants. The flu virus, a virus infection. But what's the plural? I think it doesn't have a plural. But hey, it says it's a living thing. However, it's not because basic biology defines a virus, as I said, as a thing not having life. Therefore, it's not alive. Which brings us back to the topic of abortion. And from the moment of conception, yes, it's technically alive, not a human, but simply a life form. Let's be honest in that. Number one, we have just defined what a basic life form is, and we define that it's a cell. Oh, another example, the sexual reproduction cells, for example, the spermatozoid, and an ovum of the woman, these are cells, therefore they are life forms. And when the sperm, what's the word? What's the word for that? Enters the ovum, what happens? It becomes a zygote. I'm not familiar with this terminology. The thing is that from the day number one, it's technically alive. It is alive. I'm acknowledging that. However, let's analyze something else, which is the really woeful situation of so many kids, so many children existing in this crappy planet filled with humans, and in the situation of many misery children having crappy households and crappy parents. And to be honest, not all people deserve to be parents. Not all people deserve to be parents. However, every kid deserves parents. And the last thing that people in their teenage years want is to become parents. So, when you give them this big burden, because let's call it by what it is a burden. When you bring them this burden, their lives take a rather radical change. And what happens? Something so radical as that means misery, and it means affecting three lives: the woman, the man, and the living being who could be born with two parents who did not want him in the first place or want her in the first place. Therefore, what's the best thing? I suggest that you think about the lesser evil. I think that's what you call it. You might as well think about the lesser evil. And what's the word? You might as well think about the lesser evil. And what is the lesser evil? Well, preventing this life from existing and having a crappy existence in this planet with parents who don't love it, don't love him or her, a crappy economy, a society that is crumbling and falling in, trembling and falling on its knees and falling from its core. The possibility of suffering depression, the possibility of eating food that is gonna be crappy. It's gonna be with a world filled with overpopulation, people who are more concerned with saving the planet than leaving good people to save the planet, and many other horrible things which unfortunately I cannot list here because I don't have my facts here on my computer. However, one more time, too long did not read. The facts is that one, the basic life form is a cell. Therefore, from the day number one, a baby inside the mom's uterus, it is alive. But it's not a human. Let's talk. Let's acknowledge that. Oh, and which brings us to another thing which I wanted to discuss actually, which is the what's the word? What's the word? People calling the abortion a pregnancy interruption. That's stupid. That's rather ludicrous. That's rather not really sensitive. That's not no. That's not sensible. That's the word, sensible, because there is a difference between sensible and sensitive, and that's not sensible. It's ludicrous. It's sensible, and it's not really bright. Alright, why do I say that? I say that because what is an interruption? Well, an interruption, the dictionary defines it as what? Interruption, important, impulse, incubation, indicate, infanticide, infant, inevitable, injury. What was the word again? Interruption, right? Do I have time? Yes, I do. I think. Interruption. There it is. Interrogatory, interrupt. To say or do something that makes somebody stop what they are saying or doing. To stop something for a short time. Interruption. Something that is temporarily. Something that temporarily stops an activity and or a situation. A time when an activity is stopped. That's the definition according to Oxford Dictionary of the word interruption. However, I would include this part, which is that when you interrupt something, you can probably take it again more time later in life. Which with a pregnancy, technically you cannot do it. Therefore, calling an abortion an interruption of the pregnancy is rather ludicrous, and a little bit not really accurate. That would be the word I would use. It's not accurate because what it is, it ends it. Let's call the things by its name. It ends it. Therefore, come on. If you are going to express not an opinion but a view with some facts, actual facts sprinkled over there, let's call the things by its name, right? So yeah, basic human form, life form, it's a cell, and from the number one, whatever it's in the mom's uterus, it's alive, but it's not a human. Two, calling abortion the interruption of pregnancy is ludicrous. That's inaccurate. It's not interruption. It's an end, and which brings us to the next point, which it was what was it? You might as well consider the lesser of two evils, which is ruining the lives of three people or sparing one life and saving two from misery and too many burdens and responsibilities. Me, for example, that's why I'm responsible as can be. I try to inform myself regarding human reproduction and human birth control and stuff like that. Yeah. What was it? The life form, let's call it by its name, and the lesser of two evils, which brings me to the final point, which is in order to prevent overpopulation, misery, the economy going down, and stuff like that, which I need more facts there. Let's approve it. It's a good thing that it's legal in so many parts. That's what I wanted to say. Oh my god, 10 minutes. Wow, I've been talking a lot. And by the way, I just wanted to try this deep voice that I have because a few hours ago I was a little sick of my throat. I had a really bad sore throat and I wanted to see what my voice sounds like. So, thanks for having the world. Have a wonderful day. Farewell.